16, Trevor Linden.
Linden, do you want to be premier? Just run. You're a slam dunk, baby. Is he a money player or what? Linden scores his second of the period on a rebound to the side, and it's 4-2 Vancouver. How does he do it? That's why they love this guy in Vancouver. Not only is he a great citizen and a great person, he's a pretty darn good hockey player at this time of year, too.
But there is going to be that seventh game. We'll hope they can patch Linden up and get him in that one. He will play. You know he'll play. He'll play on crutches. He will play, and he'll play at Madison Square Garden on Tuesday night. The game is over.
How good is that? Welcome to the Road Show, everybody. David Pratt along with Don Taylor. Got it on the Team 1040, also seen on Rogers Sportsnet on the day that Trevor Linden makes it official. He retired 20 years to the day that he was drafted by the Vancouver Canucks in 1988, and he joins us in the studio. Trevor, how you doing, buddy?
Awesome. Good to be with you guys.
Well, first, let's get right into this whole thing with the ESPN boys. I mean, you're major strokes on Pardon the Interruption. How cool is that?
Yeah, you know what? I was just talking to Donnie about the history of that. So last year we're playing the Stars, and the Mavericks were playing the Warriors.
Yeah.
And so TC Carling and I, who does the media relations for the team, huge PTI fans. So we're hanging out in the hotel, and that's where all the NBA players stay. And ABC was doing the game, Mike Wilbon, standing over there, and I'm sitting there and hanging out in the lobby. I just I got to go over and say hi to him. I have to, right? So go over, start talking to him. He's from Chicago, big sports fan, and super nice guy. So got talking about sports and everything else. And then from that point, we went to Washington earlier in the year, and TC worked his magic, and we went to watch taping with Kornheiser and Wilbon, and sat in there and just watched the guys work. It was great, a lot of fun. And then TC's dream was to have me on good 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So, and I was on before the playoffs started with the guys, so it was a lot of fun, and it was kind of cool. So I didn't know they were talking about me today, but it was all good.
All right, so now we get that story.
Yeah.
There's only about a ton of things we want to get into.
It's tough.
Where do you start, Donnie?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you and I have known each other for 20 years, going back to Parksville, your first training camp. But I just want to talk about that final game, the final game you played back in April, and not so much what happened in that game, but just, I guess, the year or so leading up to that. At what point do you say to yourself, you know what, I don't know if I can do this anymore?
Yeah, well,
what happens?
I think every year got to a point where every year you kind of think, you kind of assess at the end of the season, just say, is this, you take it all in, right? Personally, team-wise, where am I at? Where am I going? And I think heading into last year, I was kind of saw where things are going a little bit. And as the season unfolded, I didn't play in several games, so kind of had a good thought that it would be my last year. And I think the team's performance also plays into that, too. I mean, if you go into the playoffs and you can contribute and make a difference, then maybe
you got a vitamin shot.
Things might be different, right? So, and then I think after that game, which was incredible, by the way, I mean, it was amazing. I said this to people. I mean, you take all the superstar players, Hall of Fame players that you think of, and I don't consider myself either one, in basketball, baseball, soccer, whatever. How many people get that type of reception? It was amazing. It was a very special night and one of my career highlights. After that, you take some time and just think about it over. And I think the most important thing, mentally, I'm there, and I was there and I was ready, and it made sense.
Now, as far as your on-ice performance goes, do you think you could play another year?
I think in the right situation. Yeah. I think in the right situation. I mean, that's the key, right? I mean, if you're put in 2 years ago, I got in the right situation playing with Matt Cook and Brendan Morrison, and was able to contribute. Yeah. And that's key. And I found a niche, and playoffs was a contributor. So, I think in the right situation, probably. But I think that mentally I'm where I need to be, and it's the right time and everything else.
What goes first, hands or legs? I always think that in the bum league hockey that I play, and you see guys that are older, even when I notice a great player, a great offensive player in the NHL, I think their hands go before their legs do.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I think so. And, I think that it's interesting, when you think about, I never considered myself, a super, I was never a super talented guy. Like when I see Cliff Ronning play, summer hockey, or he plays now, he's unbelievable, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And
well, he's always on the ice too. He's 60 minutes,
and he always has the
shifts,
and he always has the puck, right? So no one else has it. So he's awesome, right? But I never considered myself the most talented guy. I think I really was a player that thought the game pretty well, and I got the most out of what I had. And so as my career went on, I adjusted and tried to make myself a contributor in different ways, and so. You morph into different things. So, I think it's a little of both, Donnie. It's probably a combination.
1988, you get drafted by the Vancouver Canucks. Walk us through that.
And interestingly enough, this day that I retired, TC and I are on the phone. We're talking about what day works. Playoffs end here. Last possible game would have been, the 7th. Okay, don't want to do it when playoffs are on. So we're looking at the calendar. Well, the 11th. It's Wednesday. Gives us time to do some media afterwards and everything else. Okay, let's do 11th. And he says, "Trev, what day were you drafted?" I'm like, "I don't know. It was sometime in June." So he Googles it up, and next thing you know, so it was a total coincidence.
Come on, I'm not buying that,
Donnie. Yeah, I swear. Bring out the Bible,
because
that's exactly what happened, and that is too weird. I know, but it's exactly what happened.
Well, also June 11th, 94 is Game 6 here.
Right, exactly. And I was told, someone told that to me this morning. So
perfect.
Yeah. So I'm playing in Medicine Hat. I got a good team. We go to the Memorial Cup. I'm watching, watching what's going on in the league, because I know I'm going to be a pretty high pick. Quebec has the 3rd and 5th pick. So I'm thinking, I'd really like to be 1 or 2, right? So, no offense, but, I just was one of those things. I didn't really want to go to Quebec. Had I gone there, it would have worked out well, I'm sure. Kidding, it would have been fine. But, so watching how things go, and Mike Modano, of course, was playing in the Western League. He played in Prince Albert. So, I interviewed extensively with Minnesota and came out here and talked to the guys out here, and draft day comes down. I kind of was pretty sure I wasn't going 1, but I was hopefully fairly certain I was going 2, and that's what happened, and it was a good day.
First exhibition game, L.A. Kings. Gretzky's in the room.
Yeah, well, I mean, for a kid that had never been to a training camp before, I remember we went to a game, our junior team, where we were playing in Brandon. We went to Winnipeg to watch a game, and that was really cool because we went to the pregame